Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Joelle, and today I'll be guiding you through a simple yoga flow that is perfect for beginners. So if you are newer to yoga, you're not sure if you are strong enough or flexible enough, or perhaps you have a little bit more experience, but you like the idea of slowing down for today, then this practice is going to be perfect for you. You don't need any props, just a comfortable surface to practice on, and we're going to get started on our backs. So you can plant the soles of both feet to the floor and slowly roll yourself down. Always nice to start on our backs, particularly in these simpler practices. Take a moment to get settled, get comfortable. Then you can rest one hand over your stomach and the other over your heart. I'll invite you to close the eyes if that feels nice for you. As we take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time just like that, inhaling through the nose, feeling the hands lift as you take in more air, and then sigh it out the mouth. Taking your third breath in through the nose, feeling the chest rise, feeling the stomach fill up, and then exhale out through the nose as well, keeping your lips softly closed. On your next inhale, bring the fingertips of both hands up towards the sky, extending through the arms as if you wanted to touch the ceiling. And then on your exhale, one hand goes back and one hand goes along the body. And then inhale them back up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, switching sides. So the back of one hand is going overhead as the palm of the other hand reaches alongside you. And just take that a few times with your breath, moving smoothly and slowly. Nice little way to warm up through the shoulders and the upper body. And last time, really reach. Fingertips back towards the sky, and then both arms come down alongside your body. Really nice. Take an inhale here. And then on your exhale, simply squeeze your glutes and press your lower back into the mat, lifting slightly through your tailbone. And then inhale to release. And 2 more times like that. So we'll exhale to squeeze, press that lower back down, and then release. And last time, just like this. And let it go. Now we'll take things a little bit further now as we exhale, squeezing the glutes once more, this time lifting your hips up off of the mat, coming up into this bridge pose, and then slowly lowering yourself back down. 2 more times. So exhale, press the feet down, lift through the hips. Maybe we lift up a little bit higher this second time. And then 1 vertebrae at a time, we lower back down. And we just have 1 more. So squeeze, lifting up, and lowering down. Nice. Keep the left foot where it is. Hug your right knee in towards the chest. You can interlace both hands in front of that knee. And then turn your head away from the knee. So turning the left ear down towards the floor. You can keep your left foot planted. You might also like to extend through that leg and point the toes. So we'll hold here for 2 deep breaths. Notice where you feel a stretch. Notice a little bit of resistance perhaps between the hands and the knee. And then turn your head back to center, replant that left foot if you had extended. Release your right knee and set that foot down as well. Second side. We'll hug the left knee in now towards the heart, possibly extending through that right leg, and then turning your head towards the right. Breathing here. One more breath. And let's turn the head back to center, release hold of that knee. Both feet will plant firmly towards the mat, and then we'll roll ourselves over onto our right side and slowly press ourselves up to seated. So we're leaving the legs as they are, and we'll end up kind of sitting towards the right side of our legs with our legs in this little zigzag shape here. Once we've arrived, we can plant the right hand down beside us and then inhale the left arm up and overhead, finding a nice stretch into the side body. And then straighten yourself up. That left hand is going to find the left ankle, and the right hand is going to find one knee or the other, whichever one is within easy reach, for a gentle twist. So we'll cycle through those two postures once more. Reaching overhead with that left arm, and then straightening up through the spine and finding your twist. And let's release. We'll bring the legs out in front of us, give them a little bit of a shake perhaps, and simply swing them over towards the other side, finding that little zigzag shape, finding a nice tall spine. And then the left hand comes down beside us. Maybe you bend into that left elbow slightly as you reach the right arm up and over. And then push that left hand down to straighten yourself up, finding your twist, one hand to the ankle and the other hand to the knee. And just one more like that. Left hand is down, right arm reaches up and over. And then we'll find our twist. Beautiful. Now let's plant both heels to the mat in front of us. And the heels are relatively wide, the knees are bent. Let's say the heels are roughly twice as wide as our hips, so that we can start to sway our knees from side to side. So this could be a really small motion, kind of waking up into our hip joints. Maybe over time you find that the knees start to come a little bit lower. They may or may not touch down. Great way to wake up through the hips. Let's take about 2 more to each side. Still just kind of discovering how these movements feel to each one of us. Every body is different. Last time. And let's release that movement. We'll extend out through the legs, coming into this little sort of pizza shape, flexing through both feet, still supporting yourself with your hands behind the body. And then we'll turn the toes inwards and outwards. So this is just another way of working on the rotation of our hips, but in a little bit of a different position with straight legs. Really great for working on the health of not only the hips, but the lower back as well. It's all connected. Just 2 more like this. Great. Let's transition now towards hands and knees. So a lot of postures in yoga involve being on the wrists a lot, and this can be quite a bit for many of us. So if palms down isn't feeling good to you right now, you can also come up onto the fists. In fact, I invite you to come up onto the fists. It might be a newer experience for many of us. And then leaving your left palm or left fist down on the mat, come up onto your right fingertips and imagine that you were trying to kind of grab something on the floor. So as if you're trying to close your hand, but the floor is in the way, kind of fighting against yourself here. Keep trying to close that hand for 3, 2, and 1. And then take a little circle or 2 in each direction with that right wrist. Really nice. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So the right hand or the right fist is going to come down, Propping up on fingertips with your left hand, imagine trying to grab something that's right underneath your palm. Resisting here. Keep closing, keep fighting for 3, 2, and 1, and then take a little rotation once or twice in each direction with that left wrist. Really nice. So setting down either both hands or both fists, we'll take a few rounds of what is called cat-cow. So on your inhale, imagine lifting up through the crown of the head and lifting up through the tailbone as you sink the chest down towards the mat. So we're creating this big arch through the entire spine. And then on your exhale, you're going to press the floor away with your hands, reversing the motion. Imagine the middle of your back rising up towards the ceiling as the head and tailbone tuck in. Let's take a few more rounds like this. So on our inhale, we're finding our cow pose, lifting the tailbone, lifting the head. And on our exhale, we're finding our cat back, rounding everything through. 2 more times. Take this at your own pace, inhaling to arch, exhaling to round. One more. And then bring your knees together. Really nice. We're bringing the spine back towards kind of a neutral position, so the crown of our head is pointing straight ahead, and leaving your left knee where it is. Extend your right leg long behind you, pointing through the toes. So we're holding here just for one inhale. And then on the exhale, bring that knee in towards your chest as you round through the spine once more. So we're inhaling to lengthen here, pointing through those toes. And exhale to bring everything in, almost as if the knee and the nose were going to connect. Just one more here. And bring everything in. And then re-extend that right leg long behind you. Take a circle or 2 with your ankle, once or twice in each direction. And then point through those toes and lift the legs slightly. Little pulse movements here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then set that right knee down right next to the left. Let's sway the hips a little bit from side to side. That's hard work for the back of the leg and the glutes. And sway yourself back to center here for the second side. So the right knee is nicely centered underneath us. We'll lift and extend that left leg back behind us, reaching through the toes. Inhale. Exhale, bring that left knee in towards your chest. Round through the spine. 2 more. So the slower and the more deliberate we are with these movements, the more precise our body starts to become, the more awareness we build. And as you finish up your third one, extending through the leg, take a circle with your ankle, and then take that circle back the other way. And point through the toes, little pulses lifting through that leg for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Set that left knee down. You can widen the knees slightly. Maybe bring the big toes to touch, and then sit your hips back towards your heels for child's pose. So you can make a little pillow with the back of your hands, maybe resting the forehead or making a fist to give yourself a little bit more space. Or you might be able to rest the forehead directly down to your mat. Does not matter. All that matters is that we take a few breaths here to release. Notice how it feels to be aware of your movement, aware of your body. And then lift yourself up, Back through all fours, bring your knees in a little bit closer to one another, and then tuck the toes of both feet and start to walk your hands back. So we'll either stay up on fingertips here, you might even need to help your toes tuck underneath. Oftentimes a few of them get a little bit stubborn. So this is broken toes pose. Big stretch through the feet. You might feel it in the ankles as well. And if you want a little bit more, you can also lift yourself up, resting the hands to your thighs and taking a few backward circles with your shoulders. You won't be here forever. You can bring your fingertips back to the mat, lift through the knees, and we'll come to a standing forward fold towards the back of our mat. So keeping the knees softly or generously bent here, maybe swaying a little bit front and back, or you can hold opposite elbows and sway a little bit side to side, releasing through the lower back, letting the neck feel free. The head is nice and heavy here. And sway yourself back towards center, release hold of your elbows, press both feet down as you slowly start to roll up, keeping the knees softly bent the entire time. Again, one vertebrae at a time, until finally we end up in a standing posture. From here, we'll inhale the arms up and overhead, bring your palms to touch. And then exhale, bend into the knees and start to dive your heart forwards, rolling all the way back down, bending the knees so that you might bring the hands onto the mat and start to walk yourself forwards towards a plank position, pressing back through the heels. And you can absolutely lower your knees down here. So we'll hold here, knees are up or down. We're still pushing the mat away, rounding ever so slightly through those shoulder blades. And then sit yourself back towards child's pose. So untucking the toes, sitting back towards your heels. Let's lift ourselves back up. Tuck the toes, lift yourself back into that plank pose with lifted knees, and then start to walk the feet forwards, taking your time so that eventually all of us will meet in a standing forward fold, this time towards the top of the mat. And once again, you could sway a little bit from side to side or front and back. Notice if perhaps this fold feels a little bit different from the first one. And then planting through both feet so that we can roll ourselves all the way up. Once you're there, roll the shoulders back, inhale the arms up and overhead, this time taking hold of your left wrist with your right hand and stepping your left foot slightly back behind you onto the ball of that left foot. So both legs are straight, we're leaning the upper body over towards the right, and then bend through both knees. And then re-straighten both legs and plant your left foot down next to your right. Little balance challenge here. Second side, so the left hand is holding the right wrist. Step the ball of the right foot back behind you. Both legs stay straight as we lean ourselves over towards the left. And then bending both knees. And re-straighten. And then softly set that right foot back down as you bring the arms alongside the body. Beautifully done. One final time, let's inhale the arms up towards the sky. Maybe take your gaze up towards your thumbs and lean back. And then exhale, dive your heart forwards, bending through the knees, finding your forward folds. And then let's simply bend the knees sufficiently so that we can lower one knee down to the mat, and then the second knee down. We'll come to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Could be cross-legged or otherwise. And take the back of your left hand and place it to the outside of your right thigh. And then take your right palm and place it against your left palm. So we're using our hands pressing into each other to take kind of a slight twist, maybe not as deep as you might be used to if you have practiced yoga before. Just a little bit of a different angle for the muscles in our back. And if you were sitting cross-legged, as we release, you might like to switch the direction of your legs so that we can take our second side, bringing the back of the right hand to the outer left thigh, maybe pressing that second palm against the first, finding that slight twist, really pressing. And then softly release, bring the upper body back to center to roll the shoulders back, closing the eyes. And as we inhale, let's sweep the arms up overhead. Keep the eyes closed if you can, as the palms meet overhead. And then exhale, sweep the palms back down, fingertips to touch the mat. 2 more times. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, bring them back down. And one final time here. Inhaling the hands overhead. Keep the palms together as you exhale them down. And place both hands on top of your heart, reminding us that we are capable of love. And then bring your fingertips to your temples to remind us that we are capable of thought. And finally, the hands to your throat, reminding us that we have a voice. And then rest your hands down anywhere that feels comfortable. Blink your eyes open, allow yourself a smile. And I hope you enjoyed that class. Well done. And of course, I would love to practice with you again soon. Please do subscribe to my channel if you don't already. And if you would like to spend a few additional minutes together practicing, I'll leave a little 5-minute class here on screen that would pair really nicely with the one we've just done. Have a beautiful day.